G'day ladies and gents, welcome to War Thunder with Mags, and welcome to Hokkaido in the P-38 Lightning. Now this video here it's only going to be a short one. This is one of the best matches I've ever had ruined by AI. Now I can honestly say, prior to patch 1.41, I never really had a problem with AI. They were fairly predictable in their programming. They would go out and achieve a mission objective, depending on whether they were a fighter or a bomber. And they would swing back to a particular area that they would just stage at, and they would just stay in that location and circle. They were entirely predictable and easy to work out exactly where they were. If you went to one of those staging areas and you couldn't find the AI, it was still on its mission. You need to go back, either go back through the area that it was last operating in, or go strafe some ground targets, come back afterwards and shoot it down then. Effectively, they were bonus points for the winning team, or in the few cases where a new player was bringing in a fairly stock aircraft into a relatively uncompetitive environment, they were a way for that player to be able to score some free points and get some upgrades going on his plane, so the next time he gets into a battle like it, he'll be fine. I don't have problems with players that are flying completely stock aircraft for the first time in a high tier match, popping a couple of AI for some free XP and some free credits. But then 1.41 comes along, and this patch just has to fuck with everything, doesn't it? But before we get onto the AI, I've managed to get the P-38 up to around 15,000 feet at the moment. Now the first Tempest has just been spotted. He saw me as well and immediately dove back through the clouds. He wanted nothing to do with the P-38 at higher altitude. Now I dipped the nose there getting ready to intercept that Typhoon, so I'm back to trying to gain altitude again, so I'm pushing myself back to 15 and beyond. And two Spitfires have appeared. Now these guys are not worried about me being at a higher altitude, they're moving to engage me now. Now being as I'm in a P-38, you would expect that those would be maybe Spitfire 2Bs, maybe 5B Tropicals, one of them's a 5C, the other one's a Spitfire Mark 9. So, I am now holding an energy advantage over a target that has a vastly higher rate of climb than I do. He was obviously very slow getting to altitude, and also has a more powerful engine and is more manoeuvrable. How do you deal with this situation? Well, you do this. So, I've arced around, I've dipped down to his altitude, and I'm booming through, just on an off angle. What I'm trying to do here is energy trap this Spitfire 9. Every time I come down and look like I'm making a gun pass on him, he's going to suddenly try and burst himself. He's going to prop hang at very low speed because he is in a constant climb, trying to get himself into a position for guns. And then I just vacate the area and take my 500 kilometers an hour and turn it back into altitude, get my speed back up and do it again and again and again. Eventually I'm going to hit a point where he's going to be so low in energy at the peak of his turn trying to get guns on me that he's not going to be able to lift the nose of his aircraft, and I'm going to get a free kill. So again, boom through. This time I am going to take a shot. I don't think he's quite ready yet. And you see he's already having to put the plane into a dive to get his own energy back up. I mistimed that a little bit. I needed to be a lot closer in order to take use of that, but it was close, so the next pass should be good. I take my energy and turn it immediately back into another 1,000, 1,500 feet of altitude. And I'm setting myself up for the final pass. This time I'm taking the Spitfire 9 out and I'll begin working over that 5C. So just making sure the distance is out good enough, making sure I've got a good starting energy at about 350 kilometers an hour. Make my turn. Loop down to level, he's been burst climbing hard, he's probably down to about 180, maybe 200 kilometers an hour at this point. Take the shot. Easy execution of the pilot with the plane moving at such a low speed. I take it back to altitude. So, a Spitfire Mark 9 and a P-38G, that's the Balancer award secured. Time to go and take out this Spitfire 5C. Now I'm using exactly the same tactic here. I am getting a little impatient, however. I want to get rid of these two Spitfires and find out what the hell's going on the ground, because I've been seeing a lot of stuff popping up in the right hand corner and I just haven't had the time to have a look. Shots over the 5C, don't get a hit, boom out the other side. Now, I honestly should have been a lot more patient with this. The Spitfire 5C is actually much easier to energy trap than the Mark 9 is. I should have given it another pass and this would have been an easy kill as well. Instead, I do this. Bring the nose around to line up the kill shot, shut the WEP down. Get shots into the front, he takes shots into me. Now that was fatal for him. I do have to go and finish the job still, but I put 20mm shells into the radiator and into the oil cooler. His engine is currently skyrocketing in temperature until it dies. He did do critical damage to my engine, but I have 2, so I'm good. Now at this point I'm pretty sure the engine damage is fatal and his engine will have shut down, but I have to close in, confirm and execute him because we are at 20,000 feet and a 5C does have a very good glide profile. From this position on the map at 15,000 feet altitude he will be able to glide back to either runway that he has access to. So just fire up the WEP, the right engine's going to die, I don't really care, and that's when I spot the first AI coming through the clouds. I'm not really concerned about him, he's only AI, I'll finish off this player. Yeah, I know, famous last words. So I deliver another good hit to the 5C and I have confirmed its engine is shut down. Now if I keep making it make moves like that, there is no way known it is going to be able to glide back to the runway. However, my right engine is beginning to die. We're still at 12,000 feet, I'm going to have to kill this guy. So I bring the guns around again. This time I know he's not dangerous, I'm just going to go through, execute him, put him out of his misery, send him off to the next map and then go get a repair. Now he's in a highly manoeuvrable aircraft moving extremely slow. I don't want to overshoot him, so I'm keeping the WEP off and I'm keeping the combat flaps deployed. And he makes a critical mistake here. He's trying to use the clouds to break the red box against me. This is perfectly fine. This is a valid tactic. The second the red box drops, as it just did, he should have changed direction sharply so he come out of the clouds at a different point than I was expecting. Otherwise, I'm going to be able to line up shots on him beforehand. How am I going to be able to line up shots? Well, you can see here, I'm chasing his smoke trail. He's drawing a giant black line through the clouds right to his location. So I've just throttled back to 64% and there we go, the red box is back up 1.2 kilometers ahead. He was doing a very good glide, he's picked up enough airspeed to make the runway, but because he gave away his location and didn't do any form of evasive maneuvering, I'm going to execute him. So I put the WEP back on, left engine has cooled down now. Closing distance fast. There's nothing he can do at this point. If he maneuvers, he dies. If he flies straight, he dies. He does try and bank, but I finish him. Light him on fire, no point in continuing to follow now. I'm getting into base AAA and I am heavily damaged, so make my turn back towards my base and time to leave the area. Should be nice and simple. 2 kills and that was their last player, only the AIs left. Should be no problems, an easy win. Well, I wouldn't say an easy win, a well-deserved one though. The enemy team had Spitfire Mark 9s and that PBJ is one of the highest level aircraft we had access to. But here comes the AI. Now, I have 2 of them on me, Adam and Shoji. Both of them are flying Spitfire 2As. Both of them have already shot down 2 of the players on our team, and there's no way I can fight them. The aircraft is too damaged to keep up with a AI in a turn or in maximum speed. Now, for those who are unaware, AI seem to have percentage bonuses on them applied to them depending on the aircraft that they are flying, in order to make them more dangerous. Now, Gaijin's excuse for this is that they are supposed to be competitive within the match. That's horseshit. The percentages on them are too large for that. And the programming for them seems to be random. Now, for example, there seems to be a series or a collection of different programs that are randomized to each AI at the start of the match. Sometimes these will be pursue whoever is in first place. Other times it will be guard a specific area of map. Other times I've seen them fly from the start of the match directly to the enemy team's base and then circle and begin vulturing anybody who comes back for a reload. Regardless what they've picked up, this time they've decided they're going to hunt me. Now the second is the specific bonuses to the planes. AI in biplanes have been clocked at over 1,000 kilometers an hour crossing the map before. These guys are in Spitfire 2As. Exactly what their top speed is unknown, but it's higher than this P-38G is capable of making if it's undamaged. AI have zero loss of energy during a turn and near perfect pinpoint accuracy in their fire. The only thing they're not good at is anticipating where you're going to go. However, if you take enough damage from enough shots over time, eventually you lose the ability to maneuver. It's death by 1,000 pinpricks, which is what's happened here. I've lost the ability to really turn. These guys are closing in. I cannot outrun them now, and I'm about to die. Now, another thing to remember is AI can see all players on the map at all times. There is no spotting mechanic for an AI, which is why after these two AI shoot me down and destroy my plane, they immediately lock onto that PBJ that is over 10 kilometers away and should not be within their visual range. They then fly over to it and execute both its engines in a single attack. They kill it in one pass. These two AI wipe out. There are only 5 players on each team in this match, and these two AI kill 4 players between them. And it's all because of their programming. And make no mistake, what you're seeing here and what you've witnessed yourself with AI is no error on Gaijin's behalf. These AI have been programmed specifically to do exactly what you're seeing them do here. Somebody has manually programmed in by hand instructions for them to do this every now and again. This is malicious programming by the AI. Effectively, for this Hokkaido match, the AI were programmed to make sure the British win. Which some people might be happy about, but the thing is, this same programming could pop up on the American side, guaranteeing the Americans a win regardless of what they do. So, from the highs of shooting down 2 vastly superior aircraft, the lows of being gunned down by Shoji and his posse. Important things to note, the entire enemy team had been eliminated at the time that I died. Only one member of the enemy team has actually shot down any aircraft, and he got 1 player and 1 AI. The remaining 4 aircraft on the team were eliminated by AI players. Or by AI, not by players, I should say. 2 kills for the match. Terror of the Sky and Balancer Awards, 38,880 Silver Lions, and, well, RP is rather largely irrelevant for this match. Now, a lot of experienced players that play in high tiers hear about low tier players complaining about AI and tend to do the learn to play noob. Please don't do that. Don't be an idiot. This problem actually gets worse the lower you go in aircraft selection. When you're flying a battle rank 8.7 jet fighter, the highest, most advanced aircraft that an AI can get their hands on is something like a P-51, the first MG Bearcats. The Russians can get their hands on the LA-9s, B-17s are involved, Tu-2s, that sort of thing. That's as high as the AI can go while you're in a jet. However, the lower you get in your selected aircraft, the more powerful or the smaller the gap between the AI's plane and your plane gets, till it reaches the point in about Era 2 where the AI are flying aircraft of equivalent BR to yours. In the case of Era 1 realistic battles, it's possible for the AI to be assigned an aircraft that is actually a higher BR than yours. Coupled with the AI's godlike knowledge of the battlefield, perfect aim, absolutely no ability to be G'd out, blacked out in any way, shape or form, and the bonuses applied to the aircraft that give it added performance, the AI are just stupid at the moment. This is not the first match I've had ruined by AI, and it is unlikely to be the first match you've ever seen ruined by AI either. At the moment, they are just that stupid. Gaijin need to either revert the AI programming to how it was pre 1.39, or they need to remove AI from the game at this moment. It's quite simple. If players are fine at lower level battles, if players are finding your AI more dangerous than the other players, then you've done something wrong in your competitive multiplayer game. Bots are filler, not the primary enemy. Anyways, ladies and gents, click like if you do, subscribe if you want to see more, fly smart, fly safe, and I'll catch you in the skies.